There we go.
How's my volume?
Perfect,
Okay.
perfect. So tell me about this book of yours.
Well, I wrote a book called With a Father's Love, 52 Weekly Letters to My Beloved Daughters. And it was a book that came out of a divorce. So
Oh, wow.
unfortunately, so about 6 years ago, my daughters were about 12 and 8 years of age. And I didn't know if I was going to have custody issues. So I wanted my young daughters to know who I was. So I wrote them a letter a letter a week for 52 weeks.
Oh, wow. That's
So that,
amazing. Yeah. And I'm sorry you had to go through the divorce, but what kind of topics did you cover in the letters?
some of the topics I covered: choose your God, I will always love you, finances, time management. One, separation is sometimes a good thing. Own your own issues. Uh, talk to them about communication, leaders read, and a bevy other ones.
Gosh, that's incredible. Wow. And when did you present them with the book? Was it after you got it published, or was it something you gave to them privately and then you published?
The latter. So what I did was I started writing them probably about a few weeks after my wife filed for divorce. I started writing them a letter a week, and I would give them each a copy of it, and ask them if they want to discuss anything. And then the following week, I'd give them another letter, and I just kept it up for a year.
Oh, wow. And what were their thoughts on the whole thing of you writing them these letters?
My youngest daughter wanted more letters. My older daughter, probably not so much.
Yeah, you said she was what, 12 at the time, right?
They were 12 and 8 and 12, right?
And
Right.
12, yeah. So yeah, kind of at that age where they think they're a little too big, but they still need daddy.
Right. So,
Perfectly understandable.
and then what I decided to do was I told them I would put it into a book for them. And so I went out and found a hybrid publisher, and we put together a book just for them and had it printed on Amazon and had 3 copies printed, then put that book on the bookshelf.
Wow, that is
But
amazing.
then people asked me, they said I should share this book more with the general public. So,
And that's how it led to this moment. That's incredible.
right, right.
And what would you say was the hardest part, other than, of course, unfortunately going through a divorce and waiting to hear about custody, the hardest part about this whole process of writing the letters?
The writing letters was easy. Um, because I write all the time. I'm an engineer. I wrote a dissertation, had to edit it, and had to edit other folks' dissertation things. So I'm used to writing. So that's an easy part. And I don't just write technical. I write on a variety of things. So that was easy. The hard part was probably they're getting it published and loading it to Amazon.
Yeah,
That's unusual.
yeah. Now, did you continue on with letters after the year was up? Do you still write them letters?
Nope, I don't still write the letters. It's just more talk to them. Now everybody has cell phones. I will text them quotes and things on occasion. So
Wow,
and
that is such a good idea, though.
with them being younger, they don't like email. So
They don't like email. How is that possible?
the younger generation don't like email.
I feel so old now. I'm 36, and I'm like, now that my viewers finally know my real age.
You probably use Facebook, right?
Yeah, on occasion, Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. But I
They
still,
don't use Facebook. That's for old people.
well, I better start AARP and telling people to get off my lawn. You want to know how old I really am? I still write letters to people and send postcards.
Yeah, one of the funny things, I had a friend of mine from college who called me up probably about 3 years ago, and he had one of my letters. My daughter said, he said, yeah, I was running across one of your letters. I just want to call and reconnect. And
That's
my daughter
incredible.
said, Dad, that is weird.
How is that weird? I love it. That's how our generation works.
Right.
Gosh, I
Yeah,
love
so
it. I love that. Great. That's amazing. And it's amazing how different generations think of different things. I'm sure my future children and my nieces and nephews are going to have something else. They're probably going to be sending psychic messages and a hologram's going to show up or something.
right.
But it's amazing how different communication, and now you said you had the letters that you wrote to them, which eventually went into a book, and that eventually evolved into texting and FaceTiming and whatnot. Where do you think it's going to go from here? Do you think you're going to continue with the texting, or do you think it's going to be more in person or video chatting like we are?
I'm trying to do it more in person, especially in the middle of a pandemic. I was like, hey, there's no excuse for us not to talk. You have nowhere to go. So spend time talking. So, but now they're at an age where they're both teenagers. They're 18 and 15 now. So now they don't like to talk as much. It's very interesting. So
True. Yeah. It's amazing how things change with the different ages.
yeah. But I will say that one of the things I neglected to tell you is in the book I put a format in there. The first letter was I basically something I will always love you. That's the start of the book. And I laid out the way I was going to write each letter. I would always put a subject in there for the letter. Then I would put a reflection in, and then a dad fact to it, something about dad. So that way they could learn snippets about my life
Now
through
you're
all the
making me
letters.
cry. I mean, I've done this for 12 years. I haven't cried during an interview, and now you're starting to make me cry because
I'm
this is so
sorry.
beautiful. It's okay. The makeup's waterproof. We'll be fine. But seriously, I think it is an absolutely beautiful thing to do. And what advice do you have for other fathers who may unfortunately be in your situation? Do you suggest that they write letters like this, or how do you suggest they handle something like this?
The way I suggest it is that they should communicate with their sons or daughters, but either write letters to them. You can tweet to them, you can Instagram them, Facebook, which they probably want to do. But just keep the communication open and be open for discussion and realize that they may not always come back to you and ask things, but if they read what you wrote to them or listen to what you tell them, they they do listen. They may not communicate it, but they do listen.
They do. They do. I remember when I was their age, my father and my mom telling me certain things, and they thought I wasn't listening. And then, actually, it happened a couple weeks ago. And it was years later. I told my dad something. He's like, "You were actually listening?" He's like, "I thought you were just grumbling and slamming doors."
Right.
I did that, but I was still taking in the lesson, just in my own dramatic teenage way.
Last week I told them something scary. I said, one of these days you're probably going to turn into your dad and your mother. You're going to start saying some of the same things they were saying.
Both of them, but I'm very proud of it, so I'll take it. I'll take it.
Right.
Now, you said you have an 18-year-old who is, I'm assuming, going to go off to school soon or going into the adult world. Do you
Well,
plan on writing her more letters?
she's already in college.
She is. Okay.
Yeah, the first year of college, and of course, the last semester of it got shut down by the pandemic and went to school online. Just like my youngest daughter, her school the last few months went to online as well. So right now we're in a certain period of time. They're saying how the schools are going to be open. Are they going to try to do online for the college? They're going to still do online for the high school, or so we just waiting and seeing how
Yeah.
things going to turn out. It's a little uncertainty.
Unfortunately, yeah. So do you plan on writing any more books in your future, even if it's not on this topic, on maybe some different topics, or are you done with the writing of books for now?
Well, one of them I work with a nonprofit organization, and I've been trying to help us endow our operations. So I have an idea about a book to write that the profits could go to the organization and go into an endowment fund to fund operations, so that the organization doesn't have to really ask for funds and all that kind of thing.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. When do you plan on getting that out?
I got the proposal together, so I will look at seeing if we can get that started within the next month.
Very good. And we can buy your books on Amazon, correct?
It's on Barnes and Noble and Amazon. Yeah,
Even better. Very
yeah.
nice.
Got in the Kindle format and everything.
I definitely gonna get it. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna send it to people. And actually, it's funny that you do this. I have a goddaughter who's about to turn 5 in September, and from the day she was born, I did the same thing, writing her letters with little
Hmm.
pieces of advice and stuff like that. And I put it in a hope chest for her that I made for her.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
thank you, thank you. I think it's a great way to communicate with people, even though they think letters are for old people. I think it's a wonderful way because they'll always have the letter. They might not always have Facebook or Twitter because it might go poof like some of the websites, but writing it in a letter or in your case, putting it into a book is a wonderful way to have so they have it for always.
Right.
And what I like to do with the people I interview is I want to hear a fun fact about you that may surprise people.
Hey, what?
A fun fact about yourself.
That surprise people?
Yeah.
A fun fact. Well, this is not a fun one, but last year I was on the golf course. My ball was in the middle of the fairway. I was helping a my opponent find his ball, and a giant tree limb fell down and almost killed me.
What?
That's
That's crazy.
but it didn't kill me.
Thanks. Still here, unless I'm talking to a ghost. I can't tell. Kidding.
And he vacations in Florida because he's retired. And he saw
Okay.
my arm. And he said, "Man, how'd you get a burn on your arm?" I said, "That's the scar that I got for when the tree fell on me for looking for your ball."
Oh my gosh. He owes you beer for life. He owes you beers for life for just for that.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy, but I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah,
And
that was a crazy story.
that
Yeah.
is a crazy story, and that's nothing like I've ever heard before. Another thing I like asking the people I interview is, what are you currently watching on TV these days?
TV. I like the Sci-Fi Channel. So I
Me,
watch it. So I watch a lot of the sci-fi and watch some of the religious channels, but a lot of sci-fi.
I like sci-fi too. Yeah,
One of the shows on sci-fi I was starting to watch that got canceled short was The Vagrant Queen.
that was so good, right?
Yes, my daughter said they made it too cartoonish, and it was probably right. It was a little bit too cartoonish to last, but
Probably.
yeah. So, but that was what I was watching, and it's no longer there. I just
Yes.
wish they'd bring back Z Nation.
Yeah. I like all of them. I like the old school ones too, like Battlestar Galactica. I love
Uh,
that.
yeah,
Love it. It's so many good things. Too many good things on sci-fi. So not enough
right.
time to keep up with it. Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today. Enjoy your Father's Day with your girls, and I hope to talk
Thank
to
you.
you soon.
All right. Well,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much for
You're
having
welcome.
me.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a blessed one. Bye bye.
You too. Bye.